Hello and happy Friday to everyone. We just checking to make sure everything's all said and done. Just hello and happy Friday. Welcome to day 5 of Inspiring Insight. Today, oh wow, it's Friday. What the beginning of our weekend. Things are going to be really, hopefully, really nice. I don't know where you're located, but I'm in Colorado. I'm really kind of looking forward to perhaps getting up into the mountains, maybe a little bit into nature, and really spend some time reflecting on everything that's going on within me and in the environments, and how to perhaps create a better balance of with everything, so that I'm able to more um, proactively handle, make my choices and decisions. So, again, welcome to day 5. My name is Lesley-Pazdzioch. This is Soulful Insight Day 5, second to our last day, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is all about, those of you who are just chiming in, this is all about really looking inside for the answers to our outside of what's going on outside. When I find that often life presents us with situations on the outside, and we start reacting to those situations on the outside rather than in a lot of chaos, perhaps even a lot of what's happening right now around the world with things that we see going on outside, with the rioting and I don't even want to go there because it's just not where I want this to go. But there's a lot going on socially around the world that if we engage emotionally with anger, with frustration, and we react on those feelings, I think that we're just adding to that chaos and that confusion, because our actions, therefore, maybe not directly, but indirectly with the other people around us, with the situations in our environment, it's going to have an impact on, a rippling impact on things that are going on. And so I think it's important that's something that we look at. So so then how do we deal with that? And I've asked myself, well, how do I teach others how I deal with it? And that's what this today's all about, how I have found ways to overcome those frustrating, negative, angry, driving feelings that send me down the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of despair and anger and frustration and just fury, right? If we're going in that direction, we keep getting more and more, our negative emotions start building more and more, then pretty soon it's going to be, it's going to really affect every aspect of our lives, which if we took what's going on and we look at what's going on, not just, I mean, everywhere on the outside of us, if we sat back and we observed without judgment, just really observe what is happening, we will have a clearer perspective within to better the actions that we're going to have going forward. And so let me say that again. If when we're observing our outer circumstances, we look at the outer circumstances from a 50-yard line, I call it my 50-yard line, from a neutral, non-judgmental observation of what's going on. And sometimes that's difficult, and we'll talk about that. But if we just stand on that 50-yard line, just observe, say, oh, this is what's going on, and then we turn inward to see which aspect of it do we believe that we're hearing is going on, that we are being told is going on. What are our feelings inside about this? Are we, figure out where you are emotionally, and then from that perspective, we need to look at the solution instead of focusing on the problem. We need to start thinking, okay, this is what I see. This is what I'm observing, in a non-judgmental, but in a very loving, compassionate, you know, way, not any negative, like a solution. If we look at it non-judgmentally and then process it by looking at the solution and finding the solutions that we're looking for, we're going to be able to do that by looking inside, with compassion, with empathy, with unconditional love, with um, under as much understanding as we can possibly muster. But if we react, if that's the only way we're going to find the solution to any situation, we're going to find the solution. When anything, I truly believe that when anything happens, in life, whenever there's a situation or a problem, there's always a solution, right? Yeah, there's always a solution. And I don't think that, for me personally, when I act on negative feelings or fear or desperation or anger or frustration, it creates more of the same situations or the same scenarios. And I think it's true for everyone. It has to be true for everyone. But I've noticed that when we react or when we engage in situations or environments from a positive standpoint, meaning that when we're having a good time and we want to continue with having that such a wonderful time, I mean, we can just keep adding on to the fun, right? This is so much fun. Oh, let's do this. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. But when we have those same behaviors of approaching, oh, let's do this because it's fun. Let's do that because it's fun. If we take those same behaviors and those same actions when something's going wrong and saying, this is angering me, and now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do that, now I'm going to do this, because we're following that path of anger and frustration, and we're building on those negative the emotions and reactions. That I think is incredibly important. And so now, so setting that aside, I'd like to talk about finding really that inner peace that I've been discussing all week. And I want to talk just for a moment about, and just share a little bit about my story. So I was raised in a with religion, and I always struggled with it to find that inner part, that God. And I grew up Catholic. While I love the Catholic Church, I think it's beautiful. The history, there's art. I mean, it's such a beautiful religion. But at a certain point in my life, I started questioning certain aspects of it. And so I started looking into different and other religions, different belief systems, and spirituality. And what I found is that so many of the religions and the spiritual beliefs are so similar. They're so similar. The path that they get there obviously is different, but they're going to the same place. They're all going to the same place. So then I asked myself, okay, I wonder why so many different paths? Why so many different paths? And it came to me to say, because different people need different things to get to where they need to be, right? We all need different things to get to where we need to be. what works for one person doesn't work for another person. And that's why we have this ability to create. That's why there's homes with elevators versus homes with stairs, because perhaps somebody can't use the stairs anymore. They need to use an elevator, but they still have the ability to go upstairs. And so I celebrate the ability that if you can't go upstairs, up my stairs, but I have an elevator and you can take that in your house, I celebrate the fact that there's an elevator for you. And if the stairs in that belief system or that religion, that entity that gets you to your higher power and that drives you inward, if you need an elevator and all that's available to you right now is a stairway, find your elevator. Does it mean that you shut off the beliefs, that you shut off everything about that religion and that everything about it was false? No. It means that that house with the stairs, right? You just can't use those stairs. It just doesn't. It's not functionable for you. But there's parts of, and then I mean that like religiously. There's parts of certain religions and belief systems that are going to work for some, and parts that are going to work for others. We all need, and I believe that they were all created. And as I start to follow them through, you know, when Christian and in the top 10 belief systems, as you start to follow them through, they all start to get broader and opening up. And it seems that the more people started to evolve and become more individual, it seems like the Holy Divine said, here, here, here's an avenue for you if this works for you. And it's all in groups, you know, they say, you know, the Lord comes in groups of two. I think that I'm not sure. I'm not that big on that. I hope I didn't state that wrong. But you know that the Lord gathers where there's groups of two. I think He comes no matter what. I think He comes when you need one person, there's one per need, and when there's several people in need. The reason we have all these different belief systems is so that everybody has an opportunity and a road to get to where they need to be. If I were going to the store from my house, and you're going to the same store from your house, the state. I want to go to Texas from my home. You're going to go to Texas from your home. We're not going to take the same path, but we're both going to end up in Texas, right? Everybody needs to have their own road and their own roads respected and cared for and potholes filled in, right? And you can fill in those little potholes in your road however you choose. If there's a part of Catholic religion you believe, a part of the LDS religion you believe, a part of Lutheran religion, a part of Buddhism, and a part of whatever religion gets you to where you need to be so that you can get inside and really explore who you are. Spirituality is a personal practice between you and God. And when you have that connection, there is nothing in this world that will hold you back from anything you want to achieve. And this is change. This is the change. And when I made that connection, when I found it through really looking at all different religions and taking from each one of them what I thought was true and what rang true to me. And I put it into practice into my life. It's not just one certain religion, it's all of them. And they're all so beautiful. And the people that are attached to them are just as beautiful. The Sikh religion, love the Sikh religion. They have their golden temples. They feed over 1 million people a day. Over 1 million people a day. It's just something that I wanted to share, that when it comes to change, sometimes we have to change, make a little bit of adjustments and be a little bit flexible in our belief systems and really look at the different aspects of life and how it can enhance our lives. How can this make us great? How can this make us better as individuals? Right? Um, I have to look at my little notes here because I kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent on that. So, one of the greatest things through everything that I find is highly important and really, really valuable to many people, hopefully. Through all of my explorations and looking into different religions, and I spent over a decade really doing some deep inner work. And I found there's basic, fundamental, interconnected practices that almost every belief system has. I'm going to share them with you. And what I found to be most advantageous when you try to apply them into your life. So there's prayer, there's visualization, and there's gratitude. Prayer, visualization, and gratitude. I think that it will encompass the majority of everything that we're looking for. Gratitude is very, very important, but to pray and to have gratitude and to visualize and and meditation, those are the keys. And let me tell you, one of the things that I've really learned is where I am emotionally when I pray or when I visualize is what's going to come up. So if I'm not in a very good place, not very good things are going to come up, right? So really think about throughout my prayer time, I always try to make sure that I'm on a really good emotional. I pay attention to I'm emotional before I address that aspect of my life, and prayer is really important when we and how we ask for it, and let's visualize what is it that we want. What is it that we want when we visualize? We pray for change, or we pray for things. If we're looking at the solution and not the problem, the solution is going to come much quicker. And if we're looking for a solution from an emotional standpoint of lack and scarcity and fear, that's going to lessen the outcome. Shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars. Try on that even level, and that's what meditation does. We try to get on that even level of emotional, that even level of emotions, and then we proceed to look at what we want the solution to be from an emotional standpoint. I think that that's really going to add an incredible amount of value to the change that people are looking for in life. So hopefully, I'm rambling a little bit, but I hope I'm making it sense. Right now we need to it's important that we really start paying attention to what's going on around us from a non-emotional, observational aspect, and ask ourselves, does it mean we can't be angry? Does it mean that we can't be fearful? Does it mean we can't be frustrated? Absolutely not. We have every right in the world to be frustrated. People are losing their lives. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. Rather, there's racism. There's so much going on right now that it's hard not to be scared and to be angry and to be fearful and to be depressed and to have anxiety. Those are common things. We can't not be affected by it. These are human beings. They're a part of us. And we're feeling the emotions that we are because they're a part of us. That their actions, other people's actions, are a part of who we are. We're feeling what's going on, and that's compassion. But what I am saying is when we act and look for resolution, the best place to do that is from a place of peace, a place of calm, a place of well-being, not from anger, not from scarcity, not from fear, because we're just going to continue to bring that on into our lives and create more and more of it. I hope this helps you, anybody. We have a lot of work to do, but I believe in humanity. I believe that we all can make these changes. And we all have to be really patient with each other. And maybe we have to, if somebody is in our environment and they're really angry and they're really frustrated and they're you can see that anger just building up. It's like somebody's pouring gasoline on their bonfire, right? Perhaps maybe just reach out and have compassion and say, I understand your frustration. I understand your frustration. And help them kind of, by understanding and showing others and ourselves this compassion and this understanding, that think about it. When you're angry and frustrated, if somebody reached out to you and said, I understand, it's going to validate your feelings. It's going to say, and you're going to feel this relief. This amazing relief will come off of you. Like, I'm heard and I'm understood. I'm heard and I'm understood. And that will calm so much. It will calm. Think about that. Try it for yourself. Imagine, when you're really frustrated and angry, close your eyes and imagine. How would that make you feel? Makes a difference. Makes a huge difference. And then from that point, tell them, speak to the person, speak to yourself, I need to find something to be grateful for. I need to find something. I need a distraction. You need to create some sort of a distraction internally or externally. You need to just remove yourself from the environment and really look and be grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this experience. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm grateful for it because I know that there's something good that's going to come out of it. I know that this is an opportunity for me to grow and learn, because this anger and frustration is not who I'm supposed to be. And so this is something that I'm going to learn how to deal with inside of me, and so that I can address these. I'm not going to react. Solution. Growing your inner soul, growing inside, growing you, not through reacting to other people's sadness and despair. When people act in violent behaviors, they're acting out of sadness, and they're acting out of fear, and they're acting out of frustration. And by doing the same thing, we're just contributing to it. By getting angry and frustrated, we're contributing to it. And it's creating, we all have to understand that we are all internally, soulfully, one race, we're one race. It's the human race. And right now, most of us are feeling, people are feeling really frustrated, and they're feeling really a lot of despair. because of what's going on. But if we could change our emotional well-being, it'll trickle through. The change has to come from within us individually so that we can collectively have that change. And I believe we can do it. I do. Just by really showing compassion to each other. And I just reach out to someone and say, hey, I understand. I understand. I understand. And shut the damn news off. Shut it off, because they're just, if it's a situation or an environment or a situation that's frustrating you, shut it off. Because no one's, they're not being honest. But you're going to find the truth in your honesty. You're going to find your truth in everything that's going on around you, inside of you. Inside of you, soulfully, intuitively, the truth lays within you. You want to know what's going on out there? If somebody's, if political or whatever's going on around you, you want to learn the truth to what it is. Go within yourself. Answers are there. And remember, you're going to see things differently than somebody else. But that doesn't make either one of you wrong. It makes you individuals. So that's all I have to say. Tomorrow is the last day of Soulful Insight. I'm actually challenging, and tomorrow might be a little bit longer. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I hope you join me tomorrow for that. It's going to be pretty exciting time. Hope you enjoy it. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.